Hi, Adewale Ajao is my name. I'm a certified applied behavior analyst. I got my training from Florida Institute of Tech, US. This week, I am speaking on tantrum management. Most people don't know how to deal with a child, a specialist child, when he or she is restless or is throwing tantrum. Challenging behavior is usually triggered when a child is denied of what he wants, or when a child wants to escape from any requested task. Also, challenging behavior continues because it has worked for the child in the past. Probably when the child tantrums, he gets or she gets what she wants. So in that kind of context, tantrum is going to continue. You can successfully break this negative cycle when you observe what happens right before and after the challenging behavior. Success with that will enable you to be able to identify some of the factors that are responsible for this challenging behavior, and you will know what to do, as we call it, consequences. A child on the spectrum will throw tantrum for 4 reasons. The first one is attention. The second one is to obtain a desirable item. The third one is to escape a task. The fourth one is to avoid a task. Earlier, I mentioned that you can break the negative cycle by observing what happened right before and after the tantrum. Now, there are 3 major things we observe. The first one is precursor. The second one is momentary client need. And the third one is client communication. Precursors is the signs a client will give before going into major tantrum. Every client will show one sign or the other before they engage in a major tantrum. Like for instance, some will hit the table, some will hit their head, while some will bang their hands on their knee. Some will even they will hum very loud. Some will be unsettled. Something unusual that you will know that this client is not having a good day. Those are signs. If you don't address the client at this period, the client will go into mega tantrum. So what you can do, this period, you distract them or you change their environment. Momentary client need could be the child is giving you a sign that it's hungry. It could be that the temperature in a room is not comfortable for him or her. It could be the noise in the environment is too loud. It could be that he's uncomfortable within himself, which he cannot express. So if you observe that these signs are unusual, you address it. If he's pressing his head too much, you know that it's a sign or is a noise coming around, so you give him off. If he's giving sign, of course you have to be observant for you to know what he's saying at that moment. You need to observe the client very well. Momentary client needs could be that a child is seeking him off. You cannot engage him in any activities at this time. You have to address that. If the child is seeking deep pressure, you have to address it by giving the child. Sometimes, how do you discover deep pressure? A child is seeking deep pressure, whether by trying to feel his body in space, he's trying to rub his body around you on a sofa. You can give deep pressure at this time. You cannot engage this child in table walks. Client communicating or client communication. This is what goes on within them that they are not able to express verbally. You see them getting a lot of, they get agitated. They are very, very restless. Some might even be crying. This is what you call cry without obvious reason. Some might just be up and down. They will be telling you something. So you see some even touching their heads in a way, or pressing themselves, wherever is paining them, they will be pressing it against your body or against something. This period, they are trying to communicate to you that something is wrong with them, something is not going on well. Ability to know the sign, to note that this is unusual of them, this is not the way they used to behave, then it will help you to be able to address it on time. But if you are forcing them to engage in an activities you have planned for the day, then you are going to get into a serious trouble with them. Observing our client helps us to know what they need what they need, or whether they are available for us to do whatever we want them to do at a particular point in time. If you fail to observe them, you might not understand them, and you might not get a better time to engage them in activities. You get problem behavior. It's a demonstration of anger, which sometimes can be aggressive towards somebody. It is unusual. It is usually happened when client is frustrated, when nobody seems to understand what is going on, when a lot of time has been taken to build up the anger, and it has gotten to the peak. This is when you see a major tantrum or a major meltdown. Ways to calm a child having a meltdown. Here I want us to be very, very attentive. If it is harmful to people around, safely remove the child from the environment. You have to remove the child from the environment. This is when it's very harmful. Probably the child is going towards somebody, aggressive towards somebody, and if they are still together in that environment, the child can injure them or give them a mark. So you need to remove this child technically from that environment. Number 2, hold the child's wrist. In a way, the child's wrist will be very free within your grip. You are not going to hold firmly this time around. Then number 3, you now use the words calm down, it's okay. You communicate to the child, use positive words at this time. If you can even sing at this time, like nursery rhymes, you sing just to calm the child down. And number 4, if you can put the child in a place, in a very calming environment, let the child cry it out. It's okay. He's angry. The child is expressing his or her anger, so it's nothing bad. It's just normal for every human being. When you are frustrated, you want to express yourself. You want to, but you put the child in an environment where it's very safe for this child. Number 5, you can have the child sit beside you, then rub the child's back repeatedly while you sing, or you call the child's name, like John, for instance, John, you need to calm down, John, it's okay, John, it's okay. Number 6, you can walk the child around while the child is crying. If the child is still if the child can walk at that moment, you can walk around with the child. Probably things in the environment will distract that moment for him or her, and the child will calm down. Please note, under no circumstances should you offer or give a child that is tantruming his or her reinforcer. In conclusion, meltdown always take a lot of energy. When they get there, to redirect them, to calm them, is always taking a lot from them. Some clients will even destroy some of the items in their environment. Some, they will injure themselves. Some, they will be violent towards others. You want to be observant so as to know what and what you can change before they get there, what and what you can address before they get there. There's no client that just jump to meltdown. They have to be signs. These signs, you need to watch out for them and be able to know how to distract them at this moment, or give them whatever they want at that time before they get to meltdown. For more tips on ABA techniques, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also visit our website at www.play.org.ng and like our social media and displayed on your screen.